episode of People Like Us, and as usual, we're doing this thing so that we can let and change the world one voice at a time. I am Brett Jolly. You know who I am, of course. Usually my sidekick Tony Trower would be here, and she couldn't make it today, but it's okay because this is going to be coming in probably about maybe 2 or 3 parts. And right now, I got a guy who, by face, you probably wouldn't know him, but by music, you know exactly what he does, if that makes any sense. I want you to give a silent applause for Craig White.
Hey, everybody.
And the crowd roars. Great. Tell them what you do and what you've done.
What I do is I'm a recording engineer. I produce records. I'm also a musician, although I can't really claim that anymore. I haven't played my instrument in a great many years, but my mind
I didn't know that about you.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm a trumpet player.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
As a matter of fact, the first, I guess, 10, 12 years that I was in the business, gigging was in the band was what I mostly did.
Okay.
But I always kind of handled the sound equipment as well.
Really?
Yeah, I used to.
Oh, that's cool.
It was kind of like I would play trumpet with this hand, and I'd be mixing the sound. And people used to say, "Well," they used to say, "Man, how are you doing that?" I said, "I don't know." And so that made me. I always had an interest in the audio.
Really?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I kind of, after the road got
So
tired.
what was your introduction into it? I mean, how did you actually
into music,
Yes.
school,
Okay.
which unfortunately we don't have anymore. And I feel for these children because very few public schools have music programs. We had a great one up in North Jersey. I'm from East Orange, so East Orange school system at one point was one of the best in the nation.
Wow.
And we had, you could pick whatever instrument you wanted and play. I wanted to play drums, but my mother wasn't having that.
Really? Why not?
Too much noise. So my brother had a trumpet that he played when he was in school, so he gave me his trumpet, and so that's how that happened.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
So what transferred you from that to doing sound?
God.
Okay.
And I tell you what, when I was about, I had to be 7 or 8. One year I asked my parents for a tape recorder. I have no idea why.
Okay.
But I was always interested in music and radio and sounds, birds, and the whole thing. So I got this little, I don't know if you remember those little tape recorders we used to have with the little crystal microphone, the little small mic.
Yes.
And the little reels about that big.
Yeah.
I had one of those, and man, I was recording everything.
Really?
The radio, record the TV, I stick out the window and record birds and traffic, it was crazy. And I have no idea, it was just, it's just God-given, I guess. So then I started playing the trumpet, and the sound thing kept rolling with me.
Okay.
And sooner or later, I just said, I was a good trumpet player, but I'm better at this.
Gotcha.
Well,
I'm pretty sure it gives you more longevity because I don't know too many trumpet players that play all the time.
Let me tell you, man, it's very few, and that's sad too. It's sad that the live musicians. We know some cats now.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, you've probably been through all of it because you also worked at Philly International.
Yep, for a lot of years.
Now, I'm afraid to even ask this. Give me some names of who you.
Well, I always preface this by saying that I missed the heyday.
Gotcha.
I was too young.
Right, I understand.
Although my cousin and I used to try to get in the building, and they would never let us in.
Really?
Oh yeah, Elaine Johnson would never let us in.
I didn't know that. Wow.
We were teenagers, man. Elaine, they got a session. You ain't coming in here.
Okay, gotcha.
So anyway, we love Elaine to death. I still love her. I talk to her occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
But I pretty much worked with everybody on the roster later, except for Teddy. Never worked with Teddy.
Really?
No, never worked with Teddy.
Okay.
But I worked with the OJs, worked with Billy Paul, worked with Lou Rawls, worked with...
Did you work with Phyllis?
Interesting question. I did not work directly with Phyllis, but Phyllis's last album, I mixed quite a few things.
Really?
Yeah, one day I walked in Gamble's office and he said, and he was very nonchalant with it, because Gamble, he's always like this.
I know, yeah.
He said, "You hear about Phyllis?" I said, "No, I thought she won an award or something."
Right.
He said, "Man, she just passed, and you could have knocked me over." Because we were in the middle of mixing the stuff at that time.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Incredible. Yeah. Absolutely incredible.
So, yeah. And, of course, Bunny Sigler.
Oh, yeah. My boy Bunny.
And,
one thing about Bunny, maybe even me, but I've played for him many times, He never had a song where he knew the words completely all the
Oh,
way
never.
through.
No, what? Come on, man. You know, never. But he was so good at making up words.
Oh, he made it. Yeah, he would make it up.
Whatever the song called for, he would make it up.
And he was a great singer.
He was.
He was absolutely great.
He was phenomenal.
Why didn't they promote him more? I mean, you know. Why do you think?
That's a very good question. I'm not sure what it was. I know what I always heard was, oh yeah, we love the way he sings. He's a great writer.
Yeah, he was
They
great,
loved
right?
his writing and production.
Yeah.
And as you know, Bunny could sing his face off.
Oh, he could sing like crazy. He could sing probably better than most of everybody he had.
I'm just not. I don't know if it was. I'm sure it wasn't vocally. I don't know if it was just the whole live performance thing. Although he was a showstopper, Bunny would wreck the room.
Oh, he would wreck it. I know.
So I don't know.
I know.
I don't know why that timing is everything in this business, as you know.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't know what that was all about. I really don't. I've never asked because sometimes you just want to just see if you can figure it out.
Right. He had one song that I absolutely loved. It's "Somebody Loves You." And
oh yeah.
You heard, yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Man, that thing. I was like, every time I hear it, I'm like, man, he
wrote the heck out of it.
That
was Patty though, but Bunny had a version too. But that was Patty's record.
Right. I know it's Patty. I know Patty.
But he did one.
And I loved his version.
Killed it.
Man, it was absolutely great. I you know, and I marvel about all the stuff that happened back then. But you know, the thing that gets me is how the transformation from then to now, how it has transpired and what has happened. I know you're still doing sound, of course.
I do live sound occasionally. I do it for fun.
Right.
But I don't do live sound as much as I'm
but you do recording.
I'm studio ratty. I'm in the studio.
Right.
And I do mostly mixing now. I do some tracking but as you know, everybody's got a laptop in the house. And of course everybody's an engineer now. So,
whether they are one or not.
You know. Everybody's an engineer, so you know. But we get it after they think they're done. Then they say, "Well, man, you know, I really need you to mix this.
Right.
I got
clean this up.
I clean right." So I do a lot of fixing and mixing.
Really.
And that's the gig now. For most engineers, most mix guys that I know, we're all doing that. We're all mixing and fixing.
So what is the main difference between what you did back then? How has things changed from engineering back then to engineering now?
Well, of course, the technology and the tools we have is one thing.
Okay, I got
But the main thing in terms of doing the gig is you had to be able to make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
You had to be able to make a commitment.
Okay.
Like with Pro Tools or Logic or whatever people use, they got 150, 200 tracks they can use if they want.
Right.
We had 24.
Gotcha. Okay.
We had to make a decision.
Right.
You couldn't leave everything till the mix stage.
Right.
And matter of fact, you didn't want to because you wanted to be able to, as the project progressed, you want to be able to listen to what it's getting ready to be as it's going.
Right.
You don't want to defer too many decisions until the end.
Right.
So that was one piece. The other piece is, like I said, the tools. We got so many tools now, and if you listen to the radio, you'll know we can make anybody sound good.
Well, yeah.
Like if you can deliver the lyric, you don't have to be able to sing in tune.
Right.
You don't have to be able to keep time.
Right,
as long as you can do some level of emotion and interpret that, read that lyric.
Right, and get it and just
and
change it up.
It helps if your physicality is such that they can market you.
Oh yeah.
You know.
And we won't talk about those individuals, Britney Spears. I'm sorry.
Who said that? But she's not the only one, though, man.
Oh, I know
she was she was the prototype, but there have been many after her that have not really been what we know to be great singers or great performers. But it can a lot of it can be taught, a lot of it can be faked, and image is everything now. Unfortunately, but that's our society. Our society is all image, you know.
Well, and that's the sad part about it. So, does it make sense to even be a great singer anymore?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think, and I always say this, I think if you're going to do this, you have to really love what you do.
Okay.
You can't. I mean, you know, if you're going to do it just to get in and get out and make a couple singles and then go get a perfume or a makeup deal, you know, if that's what you want to do, you can do it.
Right.
But I mean, there's not too many Jennifer Hudsons or Cynthia Rivos or people like that who can really bring it.
Right.
And they're going to be in the game.
Well, yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I understand that because it seems like a real different thing. Matter of fact, I played behind, of course, as you know, a lot of big name people. One of the people that I played who I thought was like the absolute best singer was somebody who wasn't not promoted that much. There's a guy named Phil Perry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was
Phil is dope.
crazy.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I said, man, you are awesome. He was like, go ahead. I was like,
Yeah, man. I mean, it's politics. It's image or not. It's how much behind you want to kiss or not.
Right.
You know, it's a whole thing with this game now, and it's just all the planets have to align for you to really be that guy or that girl.
Yeah, that's true.
And talent has very little to do with it, although the talent usually does rise to the top.
So does that mean that the days of like a Luther Vandross or Michael Jackson or Patti LaBelle, are they pretty much gone? Or
I don't think they're gone, but I think it's going to take another path.
okay,
Like you'll never see an artist as big as Michael at the Thriller level.
right. I know that was
Because there's so much money that goes into that to promote it
Mhm.
and to make that image happen and to just make things go down the way they went down with him. People can write equivalent of songs
Well, yeah,
and they can sing. And
Right.
and you got Neo and you got Usher and these people that can take it to the stage as well. So it's not that it's gone, but it just to be a pure out singer. I mean, Lettucey is the truth.
Oh yeah, I played behind her. She's
What?
she's great.
dope.
Man.
Gene Baylor and Marcus
Yeah,
Baylor,
yeah,
dope.
Yeah.
But they're doing what they do, and that's not to diminish what they do, because they're all Grammy nominated, Grammy winners.
Mhm.
But in terms of what has to happen in this business now, you got to just hustle and do your thing. You can't depend on labels. You really can't depend on anybody. And actually, being an independent is probably smarter.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. Yeah, I would think so. What would be the procedure then as an independent artist? What should they do?
Well, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on how savvy you are
Mhm.
with marketing / social media.
Gotcha.
A lot of people are making social media work for them. Again, Marcus and Gene Baylor,
Mm-hmm.
they slam dunk social media, and that has led them to opportunities and things.
Gotcha.
So, and there's a lot of people that do that same kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you're on a label, it's okay. The label's going to push you to a degree, but not as much as they would in the past.
Right,
Which
right,
is
right,
why
right,
you'll
right.
never see another Michael Jackson.
Right. I got
Because
you.
Sony and Columbia before them and Epic, they spent more money than we can even count.
Yeah, that's
So
true. That's true.
to independent artists now just has to really be. They've got to be willing to do the hustle, and unfortunately, you have to be the label. You got to do your own promotion, you got to
Right.
do your own marketing, you got to do your own sales, you got to do your own merch, you got to do,
So is that I guess is that better for the artist? You think?
They keep more of the money
Got you. Okay. All right. That
in
makes sense.
the
short
short run. In the long run, if you were on a major label in the past, as you know, and you get a hit,
Right.
man, listen, you can roll forever with that. You could have one
Yeah.
record that's a monster and roll
And,
forever.
right. Like the twist or something. I got you.
Or Bobby Caldwell.
Oh, Bobby Caldwell, yeah.
What you won't do. One record.
Man, that Joker was.
That boy had that record going till he was dead. It was
He did, and he had some other great tunes too. But
he
that
did,
one,
but that was the one.
That was the one.
I mean,
That was the one.
so it's hard, man. It's right now. If you're an independent artist, first you gotta love it because you're not gonna make a lot of money from it initially. And if you love it and you work hard enough and you really hustle and get your grind on,
Right.
it can happen. But it's a lot of hustle. A
Well,
lot
I can
of work,
imagine.
a lot of work.
imagine.
And unfortunately, there's not a lot of places to play out like there used to be.
Right. And
So
tours
that's
are
a
not the same.
problem.
And tours are not the
So
same.
it's not
either.
the same at all. No.
Yeah.
No. And but within that, if you begin to get your name recognition up,
Mm-hmm.
the gigs will begin to follow.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
If you can do it enough to a highest
Right.
degree.
And unfortunately, the pay rate for gigs, even indie gigs, is now not what it was.
Yeah.
That's one reason why I kind of left the band thing alone. Because way back in the day, I saw that coming.
Okay.
Because when DJs started making money and them cats would play all night, never take a break,
Yeah.
and make the same money we made,
Right.
I was like, this is not sustainable for me.
Right.
I give cats that I know that are still gigging and still playing live, I give them so much credit, man. I admire them because I couldn't have done it.
It's a tough deal. I mean,
It is.
I'm somebody who does play live, and the thing about it
Yeah,
is,
exactly.
I see it now. It's like, I wonder why would somebody want to deal with a band paying 400 or 500 or 600 at the lowest scale,
Right.
Compared to.
Well, you know why? You know what's funny, and I'm sure you've noticed this.
Mm-hmm.
The whole live organic performance thing is starting to come back around. Interestingly enough.
Well, I hope so.
Oh, no, it is, because
Okay.
people are tired of prefab formulated stuff.
Gotcha.
And they tired of seeing somebody get up on stage performing the tracks and it'd be one singer and 5 dancers.
Yeah.
They don't want to,
Yeah.
that's getting old.
I hate. I mean, I probably shouldn't say it, but I hate that. I really do. Like, somebody's performing to a track 1st off, and then you got so many dancers on there that you can't even
Focus.
You can't
Right.
even focus on.
But I will say that I understand it from the economic aspect because, like you say, live gigs aren't paying. And if you're a new artist and you got one record that you're trying to do something with, you almost have to do tracks because economically you can't afford to pay your people.
Well, yeah,
You
that's
know,
true.
so they got us in that box now.
Wow, incredible.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about the music scene on the other spectrum of it. Of course, you know what's been going on with P. Diddy and I'm not trying to get you in trouble.
No. I was never in any party.
Okay.
But before I moved to Philly in '93, I was working pretty steadily as an independent engineer all around New York.
Okay.
Didn't do any. I won't say any. I did some hip hop, but not a lot.
Right.
But when you're up in New York and you're doing studios and you go in this room, that room, you meet people and you see people and you begin to get a sense of who's who and what's what.
Right.
So, thank God, I was never caught up in any of that because I'm not a big party dude.
Well, I didn't figure you would be.
Nah, I don't do the drug thing. I don't do none of that. So that kind of eliminated me from being invited to hang because they know if you're not into it,
right? They won't mess with you.
You say, that guy, man, he lame, man. We don't want him around.
I'm sure you heard the stories. Okay, I know it's been going on for a long while.
Well, where I was leading with that is, you hear stories daily. Like, yo, man, I was at this party last night, and man, so you hear things.
Right.
You never have first-hand knowledge, but you hear things from people that kind of know. And so I wasn't surprised. Let's put it that way.
Gotcha. Okay.
I wasn't surprised at all.
Okay. And this is probably another aspect of music. Of course, about streaming and how that is for artists.
It's gonna kill the business.
It's gonna kill a bit, right? And that's what I'm going to ask you. So, considering the fact of streaming, what alternative or what can be done to kind of level it back up to where it should be? I mean, because artists, without the artists,
you have to do. People like her, don't like her. I think she's great. Taylor Swift, to her credit, did this a couple of times. When she dropped a new album, she didn't let any streaming happen.
Really?
She said, "You're not gonna stream my record." I was it 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it was.
Right.
She said there will be no streaming.
Beautiful. Wow.
And and the streamers try to make you think, as radio used to try to make us think back in the day. Well, you need to be streaming because that's your promotion. No, but I ain't making any money.
Right.
And
exactly.
meanwhile, you making a boatload.
Right.
From your subscribers and whatever else,
right.
and you stream, and I'm drawing. My record is drawing traffic to your site,
right.
but I'm not getting. I'm getting
percentage of a penny.
Well, it's
How bad is it?
I think it's a little more now. It used to be 2/100ths of a cent. Is that crazy?
That's crazy.
It's a little bit more now because there's been an upgrade to the whole copyright and the whole streaming structure.
From what you know, who has made the most money just from streaming?
I don't know the answer to that, but I know Snoop Dogg was online talking about he had 2 million streams and made $5,000 or something.
Oh yeah.
He was cussing them. Somebody need to explain to me where the money is at. And he's right.
Well, yeah. So it sounds like the best avenue to go would be to just have your own website and sell your product from your website.
It would seem to be that, but what's happening now is in order to do that, like I said, you got to really have the aptitude and the willingness to do that level of hustle.
Well, yeah, because you got to market it. Yeah.
Got to market it.
Yeah.
So the way to do that is, TikTok is social media, is whatever, and you can kind of make up for it,
right.
and people that I know are doing it, people that I've already mentioned or whatever, they seem to be doing fine. Because they've built a fan base,
right,
and their fan base supports them.
Gotcha.
Which is really no different than it was back in the day, except that you had more help on the promotion side.
Right, and probably more middleman from the company, I would assume. Because I mean, they had to get their cut, or.
Well, yeah, but that's why the labels would throw so much money at radio.
Gotcha.
Because radio was the streaming of its day.
Gotcha.
So you get enough airplay that drives people to the store to buy your record.
Well, yeah.
And that sends people to your shows.
Right. So right now there's no more, of course, no records and CDs. So is it just downloads now? Is that what it is, or?
It's downloads, but a lot of people do sell physical product.
Really?
Right.
In what form?
CDs.
Really?
And there's another little memory stick thing that you can do. Now, and you can even put one song on what looks like a business card.
Really?
It's a digital business card, and you can put music on there.
Wow, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, you can do one song. That's new.
That's got to be, because I'd never heard of that.
Yeah,
I never heard of that. Wow.
Mm-hmm. So you can give them out at your gigs or whatever. So you can use them as a promotional tool.
Then you'd have to have a device for those things to play on, right?
No, what happens is it has a little USB thing that flips out of the card.
Oh, okay, so it goes into your car. Okay, got you.
It's crazy.
I didn't know.
But but like you said, you didn't know.
I didn't know.
That's why this business is hard, because if you don't keep it all
right,
that stuff,
if you don't keep up,
if you don't keep with it and you don't know what it is, you could be missing out on the income stream. You don't even know what it is.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
that's what I mean. You got to have the hustle, you got to have the aptitude, or you got to have like a young college student that's a relative, or you hire him to be a little grunt to do your administrative work, because you got to have somebody that knows how to navigate that field.
Wow.
It's real tricky, man. And what I know about it scratches the surface. I mean, as much as I'm running my mouth right now, I don't really know enough about it to tell you exactly how to do it, but I hear things, and clients come to me and say, well, man, I'm trying to do so and so. I'm saying, what? What do you mean you trying to put something on a business card? What is that? But they got them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is really deep. And that's one of the reasons why, having this guy here, and because I've known him for a long time, worked with him and everything else, but he's important because as far as you figure this way, making a record is a great thing to do, but if it's not engineered or mastered or whatever you want to call it properly, what can make the difference?
Both of those things.
Exactly.
You gotta have a well-engineered, well-mixed record, as good as it can be from the source material that you're given.
Right.
And I'll get back to that in a moment. And you have to, and then when it leaves me, I send it to Peter Humphreys, who you know.
Yeah,
Peter has not only mixed a ton of Philly international stuff,
he's done everything,
but he's mastered a ton of hits of all genres over the years, and Pete's still in the game, and I don't, all my stuff goes to Pete.
Gotcha.
Because we've been working together 30 years.
Gotcha.
But getting back to what I was getting ready to say before, you have to be able to not get in your own way if you're trying to make a record these days. Because everybody, like I said, everybody's an engineer.
Well, yeah.
So, you're at home with your little laptop and you got your software and you're doing the best you can do. And I have a set of rules, and one day I'm going to publish a book. It's going to be Craig's rules. And I got a few of them now in no particular order. But Craig's rule number, I think this is number 2, is what you don't know that gets you in trouble every time.
Wow.
Now, there's a ton I don't know. But what I do know is if you're going to make a record now, you should know how to do this at least on a rudimentary level.
I
don't expect people. Now, a lot of my clients are really good, and when they send me stuff, it's well engineered, and I don't have to do a lot.
Okay.
But a lot of work that I get is from people who know they're smart enough to know that they need somebody else to finish it.
Right, exactly.
But then there's a lot of people who are not smart enough to do that, and they sitting home and thinking that they're mixing and thinking that this. What really kills me is, yeah, I mixed and mastered this record. You don't know. Stop it.
Okay.
And we love them. Bless their heart. They home and they read some stuff. They asked Dr. Google, or they went on YouTube University, and then YouTube University said, "Well, this is how you master a record." And they follow those steps, and they think they know what they're doing.
Oh, I know.
And God bless them. I mean, listen, we all learn by doing, so I don't have a problem with that. But you sort of need to know what you don't know, and you need to know when to get out of your own way. So if you want a really good record, you gotta let professionals do it. Now, the unfortunate part of that is some of these kids have, by mistake, gotten hits.
Okay, right, by mistake.
By mistake, because it was something that just caught on, and somebody liked it, and it blew up, and they may have done it in their bedroom.
Right.
And and there's some major artists, which I'm not gonna mention their names, but there are some that try to tell you they made a hit album in their bedroom. No, you didn't. You did not. You might have done a lot of the recording and assembly work in your bedroom, but somebody who's a little gray beard dude like me end up mixing and mastering your record. I don't care what they say. We know.
Exactly.
You know, so again, it's all in. You got to know how to do this.
Right, I got you.
You got to know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to not do as good a record as you can, which is a shame because a lot of people are really creative.
Well, I know,
Yeah.
but you know, what you're saying is right. I think that that when it comes to something like this, you know, you got to handle yourself the right way. They need a pro like you. They need to know a pro like you. But you know, I'm sure you come across those people who, you know, try to tell you what to do.
Oh, absolutely, every day. Every day. Bless their little heart. And we listen. You know, because there's nothing wrong. Listen, the younger generation is always going to come for the old heads. They're always going to try to move us out. And, you know what I mean? That's the cycle of life.
Right.
So we already, you know, we understand that. But my thing is if you think you know, then you do it.
Right, exactly. Right. Makes sense. Right.
And I don't mean that, and I don't mean to be glib about it. I mean, if you know and you think you know how to do this, don't come to me. You go do it, and then let's see how that turns out. And you might pull it off.
And you might pull it off.
And if you don't, then you come see
me,
and we'll save it as best we can. You know, right?
And this is the reason why it was important to come. To come see you. One of the things that I'm going to tell everybody out here, and we're probably close to that time, but this man is very important to know, and I've known that since I've met him a long time ago. You know, he's got a lot of experience in everything in this field, and a lot of little things that you take for granted, he knows. All right, I sought him out. I was like, I said, you know what? Oh, we got to have him. We got to have him, and it's going to be a part 2. Probably a part 3, 4, and 5. But I want to thank you, Craig. Really, this is
my pleasure, man. I enjoyed it.
Oh, listen, this was really
but
great.
You know, we always have fun.
We always have fun.
So this is just fun.
We always have fun.
It's always good to have some laughs.
And Tony's gonna be here next time, and we're gonna do this because she really wanted to be here. But I'm gonna tell you right now, you know, can you let them know where they can catch up to you at?
Yeah, see, that's another thing. I'm real bad with I'm just, my wife is on me every 5 minutes. You need a website. I don't have a website. You can find me on Facebook. I'm Craig White on Facebook. On Instagram, I'm the_sound_doctor. The sound. So you can find me on IG and you can find me on Facebook.
Okay.
And I promise that I will have a website up by the first of the year.
Okay. All right. You hear that, right? First of the year, which is like 1 month.
Right. I don't fool with Twitter anymore because since Elon bought it, I don't fool with it.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to go to Blue Sky.
Blue Sky.
Blue Sky is that's the new site that everybody that's pissed off with Elon Musk, they're going to Blue Sky.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm glad you told me that. I'm going to look for that myself.
Yeah. A lot of music cats, a lot of entertainment people going to Blue Sky. Yeah.
Okay. And it's spelled same way B.
Yeah, Blue Sky. Yeah, Blue Sky.
All right. I appreciate you letting me know about
I'm
that.
not there either yet, but I will be.
All right. We both going to be there because I'm going there too. I was on X or whatever you want to call that thing.
Yeah, Twitter.
Twitter, yes,
Yeah,
Twitter.
I haven't updated my Twitter page in years anyway. So.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't done mine either, so it's all good.
Then when that knucklehead bought it,
that was it. Well, I want to say that this has been absolutely amazing. People like us, thanks again to Craig White, engineer extraordinaire, and we've only touched on a very small portion of where we can go.
No, let's do it.
And we're gonna try to get all of it, no matter how many takes we're gonna do. But we're gonna do this thing because this man is an absolute gem and a treasure to know.
As are you, man. You've been around this game for a long time. I really appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you, man. You got any last words you want to say to them?
Y'all. Y'all, let me just tell you. I mean, it's good to do things like this. I mean, we like sharing whatever knowledge we can,
yes.
And have a little fun at the same time.
Yeah, there you go.
You know.
Well, it makes a big difference. Thank you again, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
This is Brett Jolly, and this is People Like Us. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time.